Hi there. Welcome to another episode of If I Was on the Radio, where I talk about real life, faith, and music that plays as the soundtrack of my life. Today's episode is another reflective one. It is your values versus your morals. First off, what's the difference? Your value is how much you believe you are worth. Your morals are what you live by. Value is internal, it's tied to your identity. Morals are external, they show up in your actions. Think of it like this. Value is I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Morals are so because I am, I'll treat others with respect, integrity, and love. But it can be tricky. Sometimes life has a way of shaking your value system so hard that your morals start to slip. You start to justify things you once stood against, or you accept less because you've forgotten how much you are actually worth. Big fact is that your morals flow from your values. If you don't know who you are or what you are worth, you'll compromise what you believe. When you believe you are valuable, not because of money, looks, or people's opinions, but because God said you are, you start to carry yourself differently. You start to make choices that align with kingdom standards, not earthly culture. That's when and what makes your morals become stable, even when situations aren't. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." That is it. You renew your mind to remember your value in Christ, and that naturally shapes your morals. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Your heart, that's where your values live. Guard it. Because once your sense of worth is shaken, everything else can and will crumble. Our song for today is Pieces by Amanda Cook of Bethel Music. A song that reminds us that God doesn't give his heart in pieces, and neither should we live fragmented between what we know and what we do. Now, if you've ever found yourself compromising, it's okay. God doesn't cancel you for losing your way or for falling short. He calls you back to who you are. You are redeemed, you are chosen, you are valuable, and you are called to reflect his character. Go back to the word, realign your worth with what he says about you, and your morals will flow naturally. Sometimes it's not about being better, it's about remembering who you already are. Values remind you of who you are. Morals remind you of whose you are. So today, I'll leave you with this. Walk with your head high. You are not perfect, but you are anchored. You know and remember your worth, and you live by it. You are loved, you are seen, and you are valuable more than you know. If this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone. Don't forget you can also like, comment, and follow us on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I'm on socials at Wens Connoisseur, but you can also follow the podcast page, Iiwotr_podcast for updates. Until next Monday, stay grounded, stay expectant, and keep glorifying him. Peace.